G'day guys, welcome to a different kind of scrapbooking today. Today I'm showing you a technique that we can all use whether we have washi tape or not. Sometimes I've actually had a couple of people say to me, what is washi tape and where do I buy it? Others of us have got an abundance of washi tape, and this is a way, if you don't have washi tape, you can make your own. Now, what I'm pulling out at the moment, the black and white tissue paper is a HOLTZ collage paper, and it's the Botanicals one. The other one I pulled out was Art by Marlene collage paper. Now, I've pulled those out because they've been in my collection forever, and I like to use them when I do stuff like this. So, all I've done is I've put down a piece of wax paper, and I've pulled out some strips of masking tape, just normal painter's masking tape. That's all it is. Now, you don't have to prep it or prime it or anything like that. I'm using my JOSONJA'S Artist Color Matte Fluid Acrylic Paint. I like to use this one because that's what's in my stash, and it's not cheap. I get it from Spotlight. It is, I actually noticed it was in Lincraft the other day as well. I really like it because it dries quite lush, like it's quite a thick bodied paint. Now, it's just water. It's not, anything special, but it does have that thicker property to it. Now, I'm using a smaller acrylic painting brush, and just so I can get the color down but still be sort of a little bit more specific where I'm putting it. Now, the masking tape gives you texture straight up without even adding anything to it. So all I'm doing is just adding little bits of paint onto a plastic sheet next to me and just getting color onto the masking tape. And then you can see, well, okay, that looks really cool. You could stop there or you could keep going. At any point along this little process, you can stop. If that's where you want to stop there. You can do any pattern you like. You can do any colors you like. It's completely up to you. Now, I have in the past actually made up more than 5 strips in a row, and I've actually been able to store them. So I store them on the wax paper, and it's not a problem whatsoever. It peels off down the track. But because I don't have the storage, well, I've got a whole room, but I don't really want to make heaps of it up in advance. I'd rather make it according to the photos I want to scrapbook, basically. That's pretty much what I wanted to do. So now what I'm doing here, this is the easiest way to cut out tissue paper, okay? Gives you a nice organic tear. Just go around it with some water. That's it. That's all you have to do. It dries off again in 5 seconds flat. You could tear it if you wanted to, but if you specifically want to pull out certain sections, like see how I'm circling those numbers, just add a bit of water to it, give it a couple of seconds, and it'll just pop out. And then when you glue it down, it kind of melds into the background a lot easier if you've used water to sort of tear the edges. It blends in better. It's not so much of a harsh edge. Now, to add to this, I literally was going to use one of my paints, but I'm trying to make this video about basic supplies that you may already have in your cupboard. So you might already have some masking tape. If it's not in your craft room, it might be out in your kitchen drawer. I'm using PVA glue because I figure most people have PVA glue floating around somewhere. And I'm just gluing down my little bits of tissue randomly on each separate piece, and then I'm just peeling off the edge and just adding it somewhere else. There's no rhyme or reason to this. There's no right or wrong. It's so much fun. It's actually one of the things I can just do hour after hour after hour and just go to town on. So I have sped this up quite a bit because I was just enjoying the process. I'll be honest with you, some of these processes I just get lost in. I absolutely love doing them. So I realise that's not everybody's cup of tea, but it is definitely something, you know, when you take a photo, I like to use this technique when you take a photo and it's not really colours like you normally would be drawn to in a scrapbooking paper, for example. So in these particular photos, I'm wearing a Christmas green singlet. Now, I don't normally gravitate to those colours. I don't think I ever scrapbook those sort of colours. So what I ended up doing was this teal green. The way I printed the photos, I sort of downed the colour a little bit, and it allowed me to use that teal, and that sort of tricks your eye a little bit and you think it's more of a teal singlet than a green. So that's why I ended up doing this. Now what I've done is I've got all that down. Now I'm going to town with my POSCA paint pens. These are not cheap. I will throw that out straight away. They are not cheap. Do you need to buy the POSCA brand? Not at all. I have noticed that Montmart now have paint pens. Kmart has paint pens. They also have metallic paint pens. I saw some in Lincraft the other day. They're kind of pretty popular. I run with POSCA purely because the opacity of the paints and the reliability of the pens, that's why I go for them, because they're awesome. You don't need to, you prime them once and they just go forever. Like, they really do. I have rebought so many paint pens and I absolutely love having them in my little collection because they come in handy with not just borders, you know, like I use them, it's a go-to border thing that I do, but something like this, using a paint pen versus a paintbrush, it just dumbs it down so much that it's so simple. Now, I actually bought, after I had finished making these, it was actually Friday night, and I went and bought some Aldi watercolor pencils. Now, I've done a review that's already gone up yesterday. They are awesome. I'm seriously considering doing this again, but using the watercolor pencils to see what they would be like on here instead of the acrylic paints. Because the thing is, when I put these down on my scrapbooking layout, I'm not wrapping them around anything. I'm putting them down flat. I always put down extra glue when I put down either washi tape or masking tape. It makes no difference to me. I always put down some extra glue just to guarantee me that I'm not going to lose it down the track. Queensland is really hot, so we get super hot summers. I mean, we're not even in summer yet, and today's supposed to be 34 degrees. So 34 degrees Celsius in, I'm not sure what that is overseas, but I will have a look. 34 degrees in Fahrenheit is 93.2. So that's what our temperature is going to be today, and we're still in spring. We haven't even cracked into summer yet. So it's a bit crazy. Now, the two things that I would say about POSCA paint pens. White is white, and it is awesome. So is the black. They add so much punch when you're using, whether you're doing paints, whether you're doing paper, it makes no difference. If you're using bright, bold colors, get yourself if you can't shell out for anything else that's expensive, shell yourself out for a fine point black and white POSCA pen. At Officeworks, they're about $4.50 each. And then the bullet nibs, I would get a black and a white as well. Because if that's all you can afford, like, I don't expect people to have as many as what I've got, but if you can do that, look at the difference on that tape already, just by putting a few dots and dashes and splishes and splashes over the top of that colour, look how different it looks. Now, this is the metallic gold POSCA paint pen. It literally takes this page, these strips, and lifts them to a whole new level. I absolutely love these. Now, if you're not an abstract person, these are probably looking a little bit too leery for you. They're probably too bold. They might be all of those things. That's okay. You can still do this technique. Use tone on tone. You can do, if your photos have got blue in it, pick your blue paints that you might have. You can use watercolor on this. You can use pencils. You can use gelatos. You can use wax crayons. You can use all of those things, because remember, you're going to put a plastic sheet over the top of this anyway. So you're going to have a page protector on it. So and you're going to put it away, and you're going to put it in that page protector, and then you're not going to move it. So even if you use your craypas, we call them craypas. Well, I called them craypas when I was at school. So they're an oil pastel. You could use those. All of them will give you an amazing washi tape, faux washi tape. You can use your stamps on here. You could do all of those things, will give you a gorgeous result. You can keep going for however long. I'm doing some yellow circle stamps, just using the top of a Sharpie pen. It has a circle in the center. It kind of gives me a bit of a bullseye look, and just using the same paint colors. So now I'm getting into the page. So I've made that. I know that was a little bit of a process, but I wanted to show you exactly how I made it, because I think it's something that anybody could do. And because there's no real technique to it. Did you like how bad my cutting blade was there on the black? It's okay. I swapped out the blade now before I kept going. Look at that. Look at that. That is so bad. So there you go. See, I swapped out the blade. I'm really bad for swapping it out. I will take it to the absolute very edge you can possibly have. So what I'm doing, typical Karen style, okay, I don't like to over embellish. If you're new to my channel, hi. If you are one of the many that is watching my channel that hasn't actually subscribed, I still have quite a lot of people just watching it and not subscribing. FYI, subscribing's free. The only thing that see, I've got green in my singlet. What subscribing does is shows the algorithm that you like this type of video, scrapbooking, and it will then show anyone else that types in scrapbooking, for example, into the search bar. It tells the algorithm to, hey, they might like Karen's work. So that's what the subscribing and the liking and the commenting does for my channel. And I love hearing from you guys. I love hearing your feedback. I love hearing not only, wow, that looks awesome, but I also like hearing, I would not have done that. Really? That was quite gutsy. I don't know how you did that. You know? So this is where I start attaching my washi tape. Now, I don't throw out my little bits. Always be mindful. Don't just throw things away still at this stage. See how the masking tape just peels off? Now, the only thing I do have to do, you can see there, see it's got its little bits on the edge. I was trying to be really careful, but then when I put the glue on there, I wasn't as careful as I probably should have been. So that's what I'm creating. Putting a black border around each strip of washi tape. I'm just using my long shears they're the Tim Holtz shears. They are amazing. If you're looking for Christmas presents for yourself and you don't have one of them, let me assure you, you will not be disappointed if you get one. Get a pair. Those and the mini snips, game changer for someone with really bad arthritis in their hands. So now, okay, so I'm just putting these onto these strips, and then just essentially creating border strips. They're 1 inch wide, slightly wider than 1 inch. And because it's abstract, you can hide so much on there. Now, I like to keep, my rule is I like to use 3 colours, whether they're 3 tone-on-tone colours, 3 side-by-side colours on, you know, on your colour wheel, 3 opposing colours. I love to use those sort of colours. So then I go around and I figure, okay, I've got my white background, which scares some people as well. They don't like working just on a white background. Don't stress. I've got that all covered in a second. So I never used to just cut my borders like that, but with these scissors, I can get a perfectly straight cut. It's taken some practice, but I can get it. So I'm just making sure, because this is such a square layout, like everything's plumb, everything's measured, I find that I can't put photos crooked when I do stuff like that. I can't put titles crooked. It doesn't work. I can't do that. So yeah, so now you could honestly stop at this point and do your journaling and put a little tiny title on there and be happy with that. However, I created 5 strips because I wanted to create a background as well as a border. So this is what I'm going to do. I peel these off before I get started because I had to trim the edges. And then, okay. Then I pull out some matte carbon black. Now I'm just putting some dots there because that's where I want the paint to come to. Again, I'm using the acrylic, a tiny square acrylic paintbrush, because I want those lines. I don't want them necessarily to join up. I don't necessarily want them to be perfectly square, but I wanted a multi-toned black in the background. So some dark, some faded. That's what I wanted. Now, I'm down to my last little bits of scraps of this foam, double-sided foam tape. It's not foam tape, it's foam square. They're rectangles. They're 4x6 and they've got adhesive on the back and they're really, really good. And I've been putting off buying any more from Spotlight because the price has gone through the roof. But I have to be honest, I really think I'm going to go back and get some because I absolutely love it. I have my foam strips, but it's not the same as lifting the entire photo up just that little bit. So now you can see what I'm doing. So now I'm adding the thinner strips of washi tape with the same abstract patterns on it, and I'm putting them behind the photos, just covering up some of the black. But the black is also helping the faux washi tape pop. So at this point I thought, oh, I wish I made 6 strips, but then I thought, no, stick to your original plan. It's going to be fine. And the thing is, it goes further because you don't put the strips all the way behind the photo. As you can see there, they're just poking out each side of the photo. Then I realised, hang on a minute, I've still got one. I have to put a title on there. I was going to use those, but I've never ever used these Amy Tangerine. They're thickers. They're called BARTESKI. BARTESKI thickers by Amy Tangerine. I've never used them. And to tell you that I'm disappointed in these, I gotta say, it's probably because of, I don't know if it's how old they are, whether they were playing around with extra sticky on their thickers, I don't know, but getting these off this sheet, it was awful. It was horrible. And I store these with every other, see, look, I can't get them off. It is horrible, to be quite honest with you. And I just didn't like these ones. It must be that they're too old, or they just put too much sticky on them or something. I don't know, but it did my head in, trust me. Sorry, I needed a drink. Now, the other thing that bothered me is they didn't have a small T. They had all large ones. They didn't have a small one. So the word sort of looked a bit funny, and yeah, I struggled with it. So I was doing my trick with my tissue paper. No, my tracing paper. And I was doing that, which was really, really good. However, in a minute, you're going to realize that I wanted to have the tracing paper so it stood out and it was different, but I didn't like the black. The black was too full on. So I used my homemade mica spray. If you want to know how to make that, there's a video and it's all on its own. It's not in an album. It's just in my video section, my playlists, how to make my mica spray. Super simple, and trust me, you don't end up with the little oily patches around it. It's perfect. And that gold does not come off. So I went around these. I left this in purely to show you how tedious and how annoying this is. But see, when I sprayed it, I wasn't happy with the gold being on the background. So this allowed me to put these letters together and move the whole word as one. So that was a bonus. Other than that, I can't say that I'm a fan of these particular stickers. I did spray them with gold so that in future I will just use them with my gold as a gold accent. But I was at this point considering just scrapping those letters because it was taking so much time. But, oh, look at that. I'm fussy cutting and you can't even see what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm not overly happy with the letters. What I wanted to do was jump on my Cricut and make me a title. And truth be told, that's probably what I should have done. Because I'm still not happy with it. But it's not about the lettering. It's about the mixed media and the faux washi tape and blah, blah, blah. So it comes together. Now, talk about something else for a second. This week, I will apologise. On Saturday, I loaded up some photos to the Facebook group, and Sheena, thank you Sheena, said to me, I can't find the video that goes with these photos. What's going on? Do you want to know what I did? Absolute typical Karen. I put the photos up on the wrong day. So the photos went up and it's meant to be for Monday's video. So unfortunately, whoops, my bad. But they were already up there. So I left them there, and then I realised I hadn't loaded up Saturday's photos. So then I went and put Saturday's photos up. Unbelievable. But that's okay. I get over it. It's fine. It's no big deal. Let's quit the small stuff. When I first started on YouTube, I used to, which has only been, how long's it been now? 11 months. I've been genuinely doing YouTube for 11 months. And I had a look this morning, and I have now got, let me have a quick look because it's been quite a while ago. I have now got 979 subscribers. Guys, I am so excited. Do you want to know what I want for Christmas? Does everyone want to know what I want for Christmas? Oh, first of all, I have to tell you, I got my advent calendar from Crazy Craft Obsessions. I'm so excited. I'm going to open each day and I'm going to release it onto YouTube Shorts. I don't even know how to do it yet. Stick with me. I'm going to open them and I'm going to do Facebook Shorts, maybe Instagram Shorts, and YouTube Shorts. Do you think I'm going to be able to do that? Oh, I think I'm going to have to lean on my daughter. Taylor's going to have to help me with this, I can tell you now, because I don't know if I can do it. But I'm so excited. It's literally like Christmas because I genuinely have no idea what's in each package. And each day is individually wrapped. It is so amazing. I'm so excited. I'm like a little kid on Christmas. Like, I'm so excited because I don't even know what's in there. So I've put the title down. What else was I going to say to you guys? Oh, that's right. I had a bit of feedback about using the 6x6 paper pad and sticker set, see if I could use it all and use it all the way down to nothing pretty much. I accept that challenge and I'm going to do it. So the one I'm using is the fall. I did a scrapbook page with Gizmo. I think it went up on Thursday. I think it went up last week sometime. So what I'm going to do is, obviously my photos, I don't scrapbook chronologically, so I can actually use this paper pad across the board and create 10 whatever layouts with it, and they don't actually go side by side in my albums. So when you look at it like that, like, it's not going to look like I've just got one paper pad. However, I'm also going to split it up with different pages on YouTube as well, because you don't want to see the same papers every day. There are my new liquid pearls. Bahama Bay is the bluey one that I'm using now, and Sunflower, it's in the designer series. That's the liquid pearls. And I also use some NUVO drops. I'll have everything listed below that I've used, any links that I can link you to. None of them are affiliate links, they're just links. And what do I want for Christmas? Do you want to know what I want for Christmas? I want to hit 1,000 subscribers. That would just blow my mind. So if you guys would share my page, if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed yet, if you click the subscribe button, leave me a comment, jump over to the Facebook group, all that sort of stuff. If you want to do that, that would make me so incredibly happy. Thank you so much for watching. And here is my washi tape, border and background. Let me know what you think of it and if you might even give it a crack yourself. This is me signing out for Sunday morning. I can't believe I've done 2 voiceovers and 2 videos Sunday morning. And it's only, what's the time? 9 o'clock. Got to take my daughter to work. Got to pick my other daughter up from a sleepover. Alrighty. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, and there's Jen's hand saying hi. Thanks, guys. Chat soon. Bye for now.